Hello, everybody. So this is share. Okay, this is the card spread that I threw this morning on this day. We just passed Lionsgate Portal, and I thought I'm not going to really talk too much about Lionsgate Portal this year, and I ended up talking about Lionsgate quite a bit. It's been in my awareness. So this is the spread that I threw, and I was kind of blown away with it a little bit. So we get the seer, and at the top we have the oracle, and there is no top or bottom, but just as a reference. And then to the right we have our star ancestors and then stargazer at the bottom, and in the center is illumination. And when I looked at this, someone has their microphone on. If you can check your mics to make sure they're all off, that would be great. Thank you. If we are all in this space where we get to journey to I'm hearing a lot of noise back from someone. Can y'all check your microphones, please? Make sure. Don't make me look at you and point you out. I will. Okay. Let me keep going with this. So I think that we are all seers. I think that we all have the abilities to be an oracle, especially when we're journeying, when we slip away from the 3D world and go into the ethers. When we go into the upper, lower, middle worlds, we get to hear and see things that other people don't, when we're all trapped in our 3D lives. Not trapped, but really focused on our 3D lives. We've got to go to work. We've got to pay attention to our bills. We have all this low-level 3D stuff. We have to turn off the TV. Most of us get that wrong, and we turn on the TV. No, we need to turn off the TV. And the two cards that really popped out at me was the stargazer, especially during this time, and our star ancestor. And I'm like, so this is reminding us where we came from. Who is our ancestors? They're in the stars. Lionsgate Portal, Sirius. Seriously. It's all about tapping into that energy of the Leo, of the lion, of Sirius. And then we have the full illumination of the sun. It's really, it was just, it kind of just smacked me. It was so powerful, this reading. And so as we get ready to go into this journey, I think it has the potential to be really, really powerful if we allow it, if we let it go there. Okay. And I couldn't really find a lot on it, but I did find this one thing, and it's an astrological chart, and I don't know much about it. But it said that the planets align in a hexagram, a sacred geometry tree that presents as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. So we're going to travel into the heavens to see what this energy that they are showing us is all about. And before we jump into this, in astrology, we have a full moon that's illuminating the waters of Aquarius. So we will find ourselves standing at this intersection of innovations in introspection. And so it's calling us to bring in that electronic pulse of the stars, and it's asking us to jump into the Aquarian energy. And it's interesting when I read some of my notes that I have. It says the cosmos invites us to dive deep into the waters of your own consciousness, unearthing the unique ideas and visions that have lain dormant for a while. And I thought of that with this journey, and things align really well these days. I hadn't thought of Lionsgate for this journey, but I knew that we were going to space. And so where we are going, we're going to the dogs. We are going into the constellation Canis, which you can find from Orion's belt, and we're going to go to the Sirian star cluster. So for those of you who need a refresher, who don't know, let's just talk a little bit about the Sirian star seeds. And there is a concept that we are all from stardust, that we come from certain galactic heritages. And for those of you who watch me on YouTube with the Galactic Heritage deck, we all have a pathway to get back to Creator Source. So as we fragmented into different star systems to experience that way of being, and then fragmented to Earth to experience this contrasting Earth school, how do we get back? How do we get back to source energy? So where we stop having so much judgment, blah, 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 in this Earth school. So we're going to go to this Sirian planets, and when we look up in the night sky, Sirius is the brightest star in our sky, but it's actually two stars. We have Sirius A and Sirius B, and Sirius B is the I think dwarf star, I think. And it is associated with different types of energies in being. Sirius A, often linked to benevolent ascended beings and the Council of Light, while Sirius B is associated with amphibious beings like, and I love doing this work because I grab words and I go, what the heck is that? Nomo, like the Nomo. And I'm like, I don't know, I have no idea what that is, but we'll dig into it soon. So Sirius B is associated with dolphin and whale consciousness, the record keepers. So let's look at Nomo. Oh, I hope I have, here it is. The Nomo, and I'm mispronouncing this probably, they're ancestral spirits originating from the Dogon people of Mali. They are described as amphibious, hermaphroditic beings with fish-like attributes, often depicted with human upper bodies and a fish-like lower torso. The Nomo, believed to have been sent to Earth by the Creator and are associated with water, they're essential for survival, and they are considered ancestors of the Mali Dogon people. Which I just love getting into the different creation stories of people. To me, it's just so fascinating. Anyway, back to Sirius A. Benevolent, high ascended beings, the Council of Light, advanced wisdom. Their focus is on a spiritual evolution. And their spiritual role on Earth is guiding Earth's spiritual evolution. So for those of us who are very interested in that, we will travel to Sirius A. We can connect with the ascended masters in the Council of Light. Sirius B, we kind of did this last week when we traveled into the oceans and we met with the Council of Whales. So Sirius B is associated with the amphibious beings, dolphin and whale consciousness, ancient knowledge. We can tap into the ancient knowledge of Earth School to find out how did we stray? Was the intent, the original plan, one thing, and we deviated from it? What was the original knowledge base on that? And their qualities: strong connection to the ocean water, sensitivity, and a potential for healing. So a lot of healing energy with Sirius B. The spiritual role is the preservation of ancient knowledge and wisdom. And when I read that, my mind went to the time of Jesus in the Essenes, where it is, if y'all read any of Dolores Cannon books, Jesus was taught by the Essenes. And the Essenes had this amazing culture that was very private, but they were the record keepers. So I never imagined them as whale, but I'm going to relook at that. So they preserved ancient knowledge and wisdom. So Sirius A starseeds may focus on guiding humanity, while Sirius B starseeds may be more connected to the earth and the oceans, preserving knowledge and healing. So when we take off on this journey, it's going to be up to you to decide where you want to go. So I think right now is a good time to set your intention. Do we want to tap into the Galactic Federation of Light, our ascended masters, or do we want to look at the ancient histories of Earth School and see if we deviated and how we can get back on track again? Maybe there's a combination to it. I'm not sure. So I like to always start with the rules of the journey, and it's always about the breath and intention. So the breath takes us to a higher level of consciousness, to a different reality, and the intention focus us on a pathway. And with shamanic journeying, there's an upper, middle, and a lower world. And we get there either by, if we're going to go to the lower world, drop into the root structure, the middle world, kind of the same thing, or a cave or something where it takes us down deep. And the upper world, we fly up through smoke or heat, or climb up a tree and ask our power animals to take us higher. This particular journey method is going to be, and again, it's all in our mind's eye. It's all using our imaginations. We're going to just step out of our rooms into the cloakroom, and we're going to put on take off our egos, put on a cloak of star knowledge or something, a star-based cloak. And well, I'll leave that up to you, whatever you want to wear. And I keep thinking that the oceans and the stars are the same. When we do night dives, there is bioluminescence in the water, and we can move our hand. And as we move our hand in the water column, stars or bioluminescence light up, and it's like a trail of stars. It's almost like we're creating universes as we're underwater doing night dives. And I imagine that the water is so similar to the stars. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe we'll blend and do both. It's going to be interesting to see what you guys get. And I'm not sure we're all going to understand this right away. But just enjoy the ride wherever we go, and it should be pretty fun. So the rules of the journey: quiet versus outside noise. Again, if the 3D comes in, acknowledge it, put it away, say, I'll come back to you later. If we get a little bit of head chatter, reset our breath, reset our intention. If you get something amazing that you want to jot down, you can come back enough to jot down your idea or draw, or you can be journaling throughout this whole time, however that works for you. Automatic writing, and then get back into the journey. Okay. What else? I'm going to start off with my rattle. And some people were talking about that my voice was too soft, the drumming was too loud. So adjust your speakers and your sound accordingly. I'm going to try to soften the drumming a little bit. I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder, but once I get into this, I'm out of control. It's whatever happens. So feel free to close your eyes as we get ready to be transported to Sirius A or B. Reset our intentions. And so let's just bring in our sacred space as we take a couple of deep breaths. And if you have a rattle, if you have a drum, feel free to drum along, to rattle. Let's call in our sacred space, call in our power animals that we have met along these journeys. It's always important to travel. When we go into this space with our power. So we call in our master teachers, Jeshua, the Marys, Saint Germain, as we go into this age of Aquarius, as we go into this Aquarian new full moon. ascended masters that you want to bring in, Buddha. We call in our power animals. And I'm reminded of the 4 directions for the power animals. To the east, new beginnings, hawk, eagle, condor. Or to the south, strength, midday, sun in the middle of the sky. The strength of jaguar, the rebirth of snake, and the cunning of coyote. And we look at this at the west and we feel the healing energies of whale, bear, shell woman. And to the north, the sacred ceremony of white buffalo calf woman, who has given us the ceremonial sacred pipe. And we invite those strengths, those wisdoms with us as we stand on Mother Earth, thanking her for her abundance and thanking Father Sky for the counsels of light. So as we take a couple of slow inhalations, longer exhalations, and we feel ourselves getting lighter and brighter, and in our mind's eye, we slowly rise up from the chairs that we are in, and we find ourselves walking out of our rooms, of our house, and through a mist into our familiar cloakroom, where we get to take off our 3D egos, our doubts, our judgments, our logic. We leave that with the 3D cloak that we wear, and we find a robe that allows us to be whatever we want, to go wherever we want. No judgment, no second guessing. And how does this robe feel to be so free, to be able to go anywhere, meet with anyone on the same level, without ego, just being? Feel that coat, that freedom. And as we feel that freedom, we are reminded of our intention to travel to Sirius A, to the councils of light, to travel to Sirius B, the councils of knowledge and wisdom, ancient wisdom. And as we step out of the cloakroom, we find ourselves on the familiar path that almost immediately morphs into a star path. Is it the night dive of the ocean? Is it the lightness of the sky, the star beams? And we find ourselves gliding, floating into whatever medium we chose to go. And we are met with a guide. What does that guide look like, sound like, feel like? Some of us can hear, some of us can see, some of us feel, some of us just know. And this guide takes us higher, deeper. And we come to a lightness. And as we get closer, it gets brighter, lighter. Closer we get, the more familiar this light is. Closer. And we find ourselves in a council. We are part of the Galactic Council of Light. We are part of the ancient knowledge. And we sit with our intention. We sit in the awareness of all that is. Can they share some information on the ascension process for us, where we are? Can they give us a tool to bring back? Do they have a job for us to do down here that they would like us to jump into, start something new? Feel your light. No judgments, no limits. I'll be quiet for a while and let's live in this space for a few more minutes. we sense a little shift, something in our periphery. So we ask the great councils that we are part of. Any one thing, any last thing that they want to share. And as we get ready to leave, they offer us a gift. It's in our hands. How does it feel? Smooth, rough, hot, cold, colors. And we offer these beings of light, these wisdom keepers, something from Earth School. And as we turn to leave, move our awareness away, we see a spaceship. Why go to space and not take a ride in a spaceship? Even if you've traveled to Sirius B, the water side, the spaceship is there. So the spaceship invites us in. Pay attention to how you get into the ship. Is it a blending? Is there an opening? How do you control the ship? Is there a pilot? Is it you? And as you get into the ship, it immediately takes off, moves. And if you're visiting the Federation of Light, it drops you down to Earth School, into the oceans, to meet with the Galactic Council of Whales, to the Knowledge Keepers, and those who are with the whales in the oceans fly out of the ocean and meet with the Galactic Council of Light. Sirius A, Sirius B. Stay with these wisdom keepers, these knowledge keepers, Council of Light and Ascension. Just to be in their presence is enough. If you can get some information to bring back to this Earth School. We'll stay here for a few minutes. Reset your intention if you need to. And it's getting time for us to leave again. We can sense it. We exchange gifts. And we hear them invite us back anytime. And for those of us who want to explore a little bit in that spaceship, we find it waiting just outside of our periphery. And we can blend with it. We go for a little ride, just an explore, see some other stars, some other federations maybe. We find the ship coming back down to Earth. Slowly dropping us into the familiar cloakroom, where we get to take off our space robe, our space cloak. And we find our egos hanging up all clean, brighter, lighter, with great big pockets that we can put all our knowledge, all our gifts. And we come back through the door, find ourselves in the chair, we take a deep breath. We wiggle our fingers and our toes, slowly coming back, slowly coming back. You could write some notes down if you choose to. And welcome back.